Welcome back to another video. We're on day 3 of doing this rebuild project. Well, technically day 4 or 5. You know, pulling out the engine, pulling the other one apart, stuff like that. As you saw yesterday or in last episode, I got a brand new engine from the junkyard, or new to me. Basically, I tore it down to bare block. I found a couple issues that we ran into. So the first one so far is there's breather vent hoses, or breather crankcase breather hoses that come out. So one goes to a PCV valve on the one side of the motor, right here, and then there's usually another one right here that the 257 block had. And it doesn't have it on this model, it doesn't have it on EJ20s, I found out. And basically what that is for is it's for balancing out the crankcase and the heads together. So I guess oil balancing or something along those lines. I'm not a mechanic by any means, I just do this for fun. But basically my heads on the valve cover, it has 2 hose slots on it, or 2 sides. One of them is for the one crossover that I have, and it goes up on the intercooler, and the other one is just for this separate piece that goes right here. I'll actually show you. It looks like this. So this basically crosses over the engine, something along those lines, and usually there'd be a hole right about here, and so this would connect into it. This would go over to the one valve cover, and this goes to the other one. So what I'm actually going to do is just connect the 2 valve covers and block off this hole because I can't use it. So then at least they're not venting to atmosphere or anything along those lines. And still the oil or whatever needs to cross over is going to work. If this doesn't work, I'll try and figure something out. I don't have I have some hope that it'll work. I'm sure it's not going to cause too much issue or anything like that, but if it does, we'll fix it. That's the whole point. So here's the intake manifold. I painted it wrinkle paint black. It's like this kind of neat textured stuff. I put it back onto the lower intake side of things where the, on this model at least, they have 2 halves. And I got it all set back together. Hoses and everything and wiring went on pretty good. So that can just basically bolt back onto the block once it's ready to go. And then pretty much, you know, I'll just time lapse most of this video today, and we'll kind of see how things go. If I have to use some parts off the intake manifold I got from the junkyard motor, then I will, but I'm hoping I can just get most of the stuff figured out from just this one here. So we'll play it by ear. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to put on is, typically these motors on the NAs don't come with an oil cooler on it. So basically this is like a factory oil cooler that Subaru has. Well, it's not an oil cooler, what am I talking about? The coolant goes through this and cools the oil, is basically what it is. So this thing just pretty much just bolts on there. First thing I'm going to do is pull off this coolant passage, if I can get it loose. Not quite yet. Break it now. Oh yeah, she's on there, good. There you go. So coolant passage is now open, and we can put a coolant fitting in there. It allows it to adapt to the hose. It looks like this. Came off the other engine. Just screw it in, tighten it down.
Like
said, I'm gonna get some of the timing on. I'll just do a quick time lapse throughout the video, and at that point, it's pretty much ready to drop back in the engine bay. It really doesn't take long to do that, probably half an hour. So I'll get everything down here, put it in the engine bay, and I'm hoping I should have it started because it's, you know, it's only been an hour since the last update. So we'll hammer it out. Time belt's going on pretty good. One quick thing that I need to do is you actually put this tensioner from the timing just basically in a vise. You grab a pin, and luckily I have one of these laying around, and you basically slide it through there and it locks it in place, and you put it on the motor. So there she is. The intake manifold's on, timing belt system's on. Only thing I had troubles on putting the intake pack on was fitting the hoses and getting this, I can't remember what it's called. It's basically an evaporation system for like the fuel, air, and whatnot, but figured it out. Wiring's all plugged in. Everything's basically good to go. Next thing is put the turbo on and the exhaust manifold. Well, I think I just made like a 3 hour, 2 hour mistake. The turbo, you see that top line there? Like that top one here? That's gotta go like underneath the intake manifold and connect to this banjo bolt at the front here. And I don't know, I can't remember how I took it off. I think I took the intake manifold off first and then the turbo, so I'm pretty sure I made a pretty big mistake here. I'll see what I have to do. Maybe I can just lift up the one side just a little bit, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But you know what? We'll see what I can do, and I'll get back to you guys. Okay, so after further inspection of this turbo oil feed, I snuck it underneath of the intake manifold by taking all the bolts off, and now what I'm realizing is it's got to go underneath the water neck. So basically what I actually have to do is pull the intake manifold off, put the turbo drain line underneath it, mount it in place. Once that's finished, I can then put everything back together the way I did it and continue on. We'll leave the engine hanging here. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I know it's a little bit dull putting it together and whatnot like that, and it's a lot of fast forward stuff because really, if I tell you guys what to do in here, I don't want to be the one to blame this when your engine breaks, because I'm really playing this by ear. I'm not the greatest mechanic out there. I just enjoy doing it as a hobby, like I said before. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. You know, write a comment. If there's anything I did wrong or it looks funny, let me know. I'm always curious. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching again. We'll see you on the next episode. And I hope on the next one we're ready to put her in and get her started up. So anyways, enjoy. Have a good night.